Hello second grade. So today we are going to explore art in our community, and our learning objective is we will explore how art exhibited outside of schools can contribute to the community. And we looked at the St. Louis Arch, and we talked about how the St. Louis Arch has contributed to St. Louis, and it encourages people outside of St. Louis to come and visit our city. So what you're going to do first is decide where you want to put a sculpture. It needs to be an outdoor place, but are you going to do it in a park? Would you do it in a city, outside? Would you do it up in nature on a mountaintop? Would you put it by a school, by our school? Where would you put that sculpture? And so you're going to draw an outdoor scene, and you can draw your outdoor scene horizontally on the paper this way, or you can draw your outdoor scene vertically like this. Now, if you do your outdoor scene like this, your sculpture will need to be tall. If you do your outdoor scene horizontally like this, your sculpture will need to be longer or wider and not quite so tall, because we don't want the sculptures sticking up off our paper. So I am going to draw a city. The St. Louis Arch is in front of our city. It's right by the riverfront, so that's why I chose a city. Since I'm doing a city, I'm going to use a ruler to draw the buildings. You're going to draw everything in pencil first and get it just the way you want it. So since I'm doing buildings, my buildings need doors, and then they need nice, neat rows of windows. And then you're going to take a permanent marker and you're going to outline everything with a permanent marker. Take your time, trace over your pencil lines nice and neat. After you get everything outlined with black permanent marker, I want you to go over it with an eraser and erase any pencil lines that you didn't quite trace over. And then you're going to use crayon to color this in. You're going to color it in completely until it looks like this. So here I did a city scene at night, so that would be colored black, and then here I've done a daytime scene in the park. Then we're going to use the geometric forms to create a sculpture from. So I have created the geometric forms that we talked about: a sphere, a cube, a cone, and a cylinder. And you're going to choose a colored piece of paper, any color that you like, and you're going to trace these forms on the paper. So I'd like us to try to save paper. If I cut the paper in half, it's not quite big enough for our forms to fit, but I would like you to kind of push the forms over to one side and trace around them with your pencil, just leaving a little bit of space between them so that you have some paper left over that we could use for something else. So if I put one right in the middle, it just kind of takes over the whole paper and doesn't leave a lot of scrap left over. Okay, so notice that my forms have lines on them, because those lines you need to draw onto the current forms. So when you trace the form, you just get the outline, you don't get these detailed lines inside. So for the first one, the cylinder, you just have a curved line on one side. So you're just going to take your pencil and draw a curved line where that goes, okay? And then the next easiest one is the cone, and it's just another curved line that goes across the bottom like that. With the sphere, we're just going to add a couple of curved lines on one side to just show a shadow and show that it's round and not a flat circle. And then your square is the trickiest one. What I want you to do is line up this side of the shape with this line here. So you're going to take it and slide it up to where this line matches with this corner, this line matches with that corner. So let me pull this down again. So we've got this corner and this corner, so you're lining up this line and that line. So you slide it up until it lines up with those two corners, and then you're going to draw just the L along the edge like that. So now it's starting to look more 3D. And then we just need this diagonal line from the corner up to the other corner, just like that. And so now you have your forms. Then you're going to take a permanent marker again, and you're going to trace over your pencil lines. Now again, if you have any pencil lines that are poking out, erase those. Okay, and now you're going to cut these out carefully, leaving the black lines. So you're going to cut along the outer edge of the black line so that when you cut the shape out, it has this nice black outline. Okay, and then you'll give this back to me so I can find a use for it in another project. And you're going to get your background paper, and you're going to arrange these shapes into some sort of sculpture. You could arrange them like that. So remember that this is a vertical paper, so my sculpture needs to be tall. You could arrange them this, any way that you see fit for your sculpture. So when you glue these down, you're going to do a frame of glue. So a thin frame of glue all the way around the edge. And now you have completed your artwork that shows art in a community. And our learning objective was to explore how art exhibited outside of schools can contribute to the community. So this sculpture in a park may contribute to the community by people coming to the park, sitting on the bench and enjoying the art. They may come to this park just to see this artwork. All right, I have an example of a horizontal in case you wanted to see what it would look like horizontally. So I showed you a vertical example, straight up and down tall. This is what it might look like horizontally. So a wider version. And notice how most of the background is colored in completely, and then the shapes are put out. And then on this one, I didn't include the outline, outermost line. I just included these detail lines that show that it's a sculpture, so you could see and decide which one you liked better. Do you like these thick outlines around each shape, or do you prefer it more like this, a little subtle with some thinner lines? You're the artist, you get to decide.